helpless. So we have to start doing the things that we can do. And we have to put pressure. Politicians don't see the light until they feel the heat. So you have to put the heat on. You have to call. You have to protest. And the protest, we can't say that you are not supposed to protest. Allah says in the Quran that sometime the earth will behave as though He revealed to it. And volcanoes will erupt and destroy property and persons and property. He's talking about human beings. He's trying to tell us something. That things boil. And what is it doing? It's a protest. It's a natural protest. It's in the nature of human beings. Kids did it. I did it when I was a child. I protest because I didn't know how to explain. I didn't get the kind of response I needed to facilitate the life I needed for certain things. So I would protest and do things. You see kids do it all the time. They throw tantrums sometimes. But they're protesting. It's a protest for peace. It's saying that you, the government, you, the leaders, you are not facilitating the needs to facilitate my life. And my life does matter. Allah gave it to me. You can't tell me it don't. I'm a creature of Allah. And look what He gave me. It matters. So they can't explain, they can't say it like that. So it comes out. But we need leaders. We need leadership to help them. Because what needs to happen is we're supposed to channel that, not let it consume us. This is Satan, make it consume us, and we begin to destroy things, and even our own identity as human beings, because we become less than those who cause us to do those kinds of things. No, we're supposed to channel that into organization, organize, mobilize, and then utilize all the talents, skills, abilities, and resources that Allah has given you. That's what's supposed to happen. Look, we've done it. We've seen the movement in history. In fact, this community right here, there was a time when we were organized in such a way that when something happened, we went to the police station. There were angry mobs like what we saw. But the Muslims came up there disciplined because they were organized. And they were mobilized. And then they came up there disciplined to the police station, just like what we just saw, but not like what we witnessed today. That probably would have happened had the Muslims not been there. But they walked in discipline. And then they stopped in front of the police station. And then there were some demands. And if those demands weren't met, then there were promises that the order that you saw or that you see is not going to remain. And that pressure, and what was said then from the chief of the police, they say, that's a lot of power. That's what it's about. That's how you use your power. That's what we're supposed to do. And we have to change it. Sign petitions. There are petitions out that gives power. Numbers give power. You got to register to vote. You got to tell people to register to vote. Don't take things lightly. In many of these communities, African Americans haven't voted, which is why we have bad people in positions. And most of the time, you find that African Americans outnumber them, but they haven't been voting. How you have these small group of oppressors oppressing you, and you could change it? No, we have to act. We're taught to act. Our beloved prophet told us what to do. That when we see wrong, he gave us orders. And he said, first, when you see it, you have to oppose it. And you first oppose it with your hands. Stop it. Stop it. He said, if you find a way to do that, speak out. If you find a way to do that, then at least hate it in your heart. He said, that's the weakest. That's to let you know, don't go there first. He gave us the order. So you look at your ability. If you find a way to begin to do something physically, within order, because it's about justice. If there's no justice, there's no peace. You know, peace. When we look at how Allah structured the creation, peace, the appetite. We talk about this appetite, this desire for peace. That's the most powerful force in the human creation. That to have peace, to want peace. Give me peace of mind. Yeah, that's a strong thing. It's very, very strong. And of course, if there's no peace, there's no justice. That's what Allah is telling us. Because they go together. They go together. And if we don't get peace, we're going to have a protest. What we're seeing in the people in the cities, it's happening in many places around the world, what we may call destructiveness. And you see destruction. It's a protest to awaken in us human beings, fellow human beings. And we're glad to see people are responding. And again, the leaders, that they have been condemned. They're saying they've been condemned. They can be condemned for not respecting their human nature. They're not respecting human nature. They're not treating them as equal members of the human family. We all in this society, we're all called citizens. But we're all human first, but still citizens. So something over time begins to boil. And if it's not checked to cool it down, we're going to see more. So as time moves on, we want to thank Allah for blessing us to give us Ramadan that speaks to the heat and the coolness. And we enter this month of Shawwal. Shawwal means to awaken. It means actually to awaken, to wake up, to become active. 10, it's in the 10th month, and the 10 represents to be awake, to be conscious. Again, we just like I said, just language in boxing, it's 10 count. If you're conscious, you can make the 10 count. It's what it means. This is what it represents. Again, in all of our significant days, 10. Again, the Eid al-Adha. We got the Eid al-Fitr, 10th month, Eid al-Adha on the 10th day. Same thing. We go through the rituals and things. We're supposed to become conscious to human life and the needs of human life, and be sensitive to human life. We have to wake up and do what we can to progress in life. And the law says, "Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina bil qist." Oh, you who have faith, you trust God. If you say you trust God, be a strong people, standing for something meaningful, for justice. It means to be strong. Be strong. Allah don't want us to be weak. We're not supposed to be weak. We're not supposed to be sheepish people. We're supposed to be strong. He says, stand strongly for justice. And that's what we have to do to make things change. So again, we speak to our dear brothers and sisters here and around the world to do the things that you can do. And again, there are many petitions going around. Get involved. Write your leaders. Write even they got mayors' councils. They got governors' councils. Let them go and speak when they let them hear from you, and let them take it to those who are appropriate. Get involved and vote and register to vote. Take your life more serious. Allah gave you all of this. He gave you life. Show that you appreciate the life that He's given you, so you can move on towards your destiny with the gifts that He's given you. I want to close out by, again, I want to remind everyone that this month of Shawwal, we're told by our dear Prophet that whoever fasts the month of Ramadan and then follows it up with 6 days of fasting in this month of Shawwal, he said it'll be as though he fasted for the full year. 6 days. It don't have to be consecutive days, but six. And Allah, again, in the scriptures, lets us know that He multiplies the good. Someplace we see that He rewards good in the hadith. Muslim, He said He rewards good deeds. They're times 10. Minimum is times 10. So if we fast 1 day of Ramadan times 10, that's 300 days. And if you do the 6 days of Awal, so you times each day, that's 60. So you have now 360 days, because you get those rewards, And so our Prophet also let us know that our return to the habit of fasting right after Ramadan. If you return to the habit of fasting in this month of Shawwal after Ramadan, then it's a sign. It's a sign that your Ramadan fast was accepted. We all want to know if our fast has been accepted. It's a sign. Anytime you do you do the obligatory things, and then you do optional things because you know the value of the good things, then that's a sign that the good that you did that was mandatory, Allah has accepted that. And the fasting days, they're just like when you do extra prayers. You make mistakes sometimes. Now, I ain't talking about missing a day of fast, but maybe during that day you weren't your best. Maybe you did some things that violated in terms of your disposition wasn't right. Your attitude wasn't right. Maybe your language that you used, your temper maybe wasn't right. So these fasting days help expedite those things as well. So don't let it go. You have the whole month to work with, so there's some time left. Some time left. If you want your fast to be accepted, then that's a good sign of it. If you can get back and start and do some fast in this time, and get those rewards. So we extend Eid Mubarak to everyone, and we want to express appreciation for all of the sponsors, the supporters, and the participants, and the volunteers for contributing and helping to make the Ramadan and the Eid celebration memorial and enjoyable for so many people. Some of the main sponsors we had was Sweet Tooth Restaurant, Penny USA, El Hibri Foundation, Tables Without Borders, the McLean Islamic Center, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and other. Those are some of the main ones. And so as we get ready to close, we want to remind everyone to strive to please Allah with your utmost. Strive to stay away from lies, stay away from untruthfulness, any bad behavior. Because any bad behavior that you tolerate, it's going to weaken your good nature. It'll weaken your good nature, and your original nature Allah gave you, and it'll be destroyed and lost to the world. You don't want to lose that to the world. So don't give in to sin, the fires of sin, this is appetites, these desires, the fires. That's what they call the fires of sin, the fires of sin. Don't give in to the fires of sin of this world, and strive daily, every single day, to please Allah and to satisfy Him with our obedience. With our obedience, we were created with obedience. And our obedience, it was created for Allah Ta'ala. We were created with obedience, and it was created for Allah Ta'ala. So let's get that back to Him. We pray that Allah will accept our fast, and we pray that from our fast, that our appreciation and our love of Him and His messenger will grow bigger, and that we will come to love each other with more sincere love. We ask Allah to keep us on the path and to give us His protection. May He keep our interest for the whole of the religion, and that we live it fully in society, so that our life will be a testimony, a witness for all other societies of what Allah wants for mankind. May Allah give us light and open our eyes for the light, and forgive us our ignorance and our sins against our own life, so that we will have His mercy and a new chance for life and progress. Ameen. Come to Salat.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayyu ala salat, hayyu ala falah. Qad qamati salat, qad qamati salat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
For those who are here again, count 5, and the 6th one is what you stand on. Make sure your line is on a straight line, and count 5, and stand on the 6th one, and you'll be right. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Alam nashrah laka sadrak wa wada'na anka wizrak alladhi anqada dhahrak wa rafa'na laka dhikrak fa inna ma'al usri yusra inna ma'al usri yusra. فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام تبارك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام Assalamu alaikum. For those who are listening around the world, those who are in the community here, just want to let you know that here in D.C., the mayor has began the first phase of reopening the city. The mosque, the Masjid here is not open yet, but because the first phase has started, we know it's going to come at some point. We're going to be reopening, so we are starting to get with the leadership here, the board, and begin to discuss how we're going to do that as well. And so at some point, we expect to have members here, and we would definitely have to observe precautions. Because they don't have a cure, no cure yet, and it's still out here. It's still out here, and many people they say have it and don't know they have it, and so those people will be coming around not knowing that they have it and pass it on, and those who don't have it that may get it, it may show up in them where it didn't show up in the person that they got it from. So we're going to take every precaution. In the meanwhile, again, continue to pay attention to the emails that we send out, to the telephone fees that we're sending out now. We also now have the Jumah. We know we have a lot of our elderly who don't get online service, so today was the first day that we started a call-in number. You can call and listen to the Jumah now. And so we'll continue to publicize that number for anyone who, if they don't have access to video to live stream it, to get the live stream, they can just call the number and listen and get the message that we'll be giving out each Friday, as well as other things we're going to be doing. We're going to be probably putting some of the classes on Zoom and also on that feed, so you can at least listen if you can't be there physically. So until you hear back from us, please stay safe. Don't be deluded. Don't be delusional because states are opening up, thinking everything is all right. It's not. It's not. It's still out here. Today is also, we're witnessing over 100,000 people. They've got big plans set up for Monday. They're going to be doing a big commemoration mourning of the 100,000 lives that have succumbed to COVID. And of course, many of those who we see affected physically from the virus of racism and those things. And now we have this other virus, and because we know African American and others are being marginalized, who have been marginalized, are also the most susceptible to this virus as well. We're seeing that the numbers are disproportionate, affecting those people of color as well. But it seems like the more fear should be of those who are supposed to be protecting and saving lives, become to be more of a harm than the virus. Here, this man was safe from the virus, but that he wasn't safe in his own city at the hands of those who should have been protecting him, as many others that we name so many others, and many that have gone unnamed, that has happened to, again, for centuries. But this is 2020. It has to stop, and it can only stop if we stop it. That those that do wrong can only succeed if those who are good allow them. When you come together, you reduce their worlds. If you stay separated and do just pockets, then you allow their world to continue to be strong. So those small numbers overcome the good, but we have to unite. The good has to unite in our cities, everywhere, and be vocal, be involved, and be active. If you're not involved, don't take your life for granted. Don't take your voice for granted. Get with others to maximize your voice and maximize your resolve for that there'll be justice and equality and freedom for all. Assalamu alaikum.